What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of For the Love of Wrestling. I am, of course, your host, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Happy Thursday. Good to see everybody here once again today as it's time to review and discuss last night's installment of AEW Dynamite. Try to give a couple of moments here for people to come in here. How's everybody doing today? Show started with Samoa Joe coming out to the ring, and he says that he's looking for some answers. Joe mentions the beer bottle that he found near MJF backstage and the scent of Stetson and despair. And he accuses the Hangman, Adam Page, of assaulting MJF. Adam Page comes out, says he doesn't care about the devil or who done it. And this brings out Roderick Strong and the Kingdom. Roddy and the Kingdom once again try to reiterate their point that they've been preaching for the past couple of months to Samoa Joe that MJF is the devil himself. Adam Page ends up clocking Roddy, and a match is on, and it is Roderick Strong versus the Hangman Adam Page. This was a good outing for both men, and I'm not going to lie, I probably would have enjoyed this match more if I was more of an Adam Page fan. Everybody knows that I am not really keen on the Hangman, but nonetheless, Hangman was able to land the Deadeye onto Roddy for the win. Curious if Roddy's going to try and play the neck angle back up again, considering the Deadeye attacks the head and neck. Daniel's in the house. What's going on, Daniel? This is just as I thought. The Devil storyline is going good. It gets better. I don't know, man. Like at this point, I feel like they're just stalling. The rumor was that whoever was going to play the Devil and the Henchman had been playing for the people all along. I don't know if I agree with that. You know, the non-compete clauses, the release WWE superstars is up on December 20th. December 30th is World's End. I have a feeling we're going to get the reveal at World's End, and it's going to be a bunch of those non-compete clause wrestlers. Which means that it couldn't have been those people all along, because then they would have been competing while they're still technically under contract or under the non-complete. I feel like Adam Page, Roderick Strong, MJF himself, I feel like any of those are too obvious. Jack Perry's going to go over like a fart in church. Like they've played this up too long to where I don't think it's going to pay off for them like they want it to. After the Roddy and Hangman match, we got Brody King versus Andrade El Idolo. And this was just a hard-hitting smash mouth match. This was some big meaty men slapping meat done the right way, as opposed to Bronson Reed versus Ivar from this past week on Raw. Andrade got the victory here. Fantastic match. Brody King looked amazing. Shout out to Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy. Brody King was a student there. We then go backstage, and Renee Paquette is talking to the Von Erich family in Texas. Now, of course, this moment wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for the Iron Claw movie coming out on December 22nd, which will feature MJF as one of the Von Erichs. But it was still good to see the Von Erich family in Texas. And Orange Cassidy comes walking in with Danhausen and I believe Trent Beretta. And he asks Kevin Von Erich's sons, Marshall and Ross, if they would be willing to team with him on Rampage for six-man tag action. And Beretta and Danhausen are like, dude, what the heck? Like, we're here. We are a trio. If it's a trios match, we're your guys. And Orange Cassidy is like, yeah, but it's Texas. And they were like, okay, good point. Von Erich's Texas. Okay. Marshall and Ross totally accept. So on Rampage on Friday, it's going to be Orange Cassidy, Marshall, and Ross Von Erich, but taking on another trio. Daniel says, if the devil went down differently, would we be seeing the devil already revealed? I think so. I think the original plan was probably for Punk to be the devil. But between his firing and then showing up in WWE, now they're trying to scramble. We then had a Golden Jets promo, and Chris Jericho was outstanding, like Chris Jericho always is. Kenny Omega was flat. Kenny Omega was flat as all get out. He was horrible on the mic in this situation. Ricky Starks had more fire on the microphone than Kenny Omega. Got some great shots fired off between Starks, Big Bill, and Jericho. Jericho threw an Enzo Amore reference out there, which kind of caught Big Bill. It was, if you took Omega out of the situation, it was a good enough promo, but Omega really brought this whole scenario down a little bit. I agree. Jericho always has the best one-liners, especially towards Big Bill. We then had a Wardlow video package that kind of detailed his path of destruction ever since he returned. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, excuse me. I got a little bit ahead of myself there. My bad. I was a little bit distracted, got ahead of myself. After the Golden Jets thing, Timeless Tony Storm came out and took her position at the announce table. And then we got Ruby Soho versus Riho. And this was a great return to action for Riho. Saraya was nowhere to be found in order to help Ruby. Riho got the win, and I feel really bad for Ruby Soho here. You know, Saraya isn't there to help her. Cool Hand Ange wasn't there to help her. Tony wasn't going to help her because she felt betrayed by the Outcasts. And like, I feel like Ruby here has got to be like, what the hell is going on? When you need me, I am there for you. When I need you, where are you for me? We've got to see some further development in this Ruby Soho Saraya story. We then went to the Wardlow video package, and after the Wardlow video package, we had Roosh versus Jay Lethal, part of the tournament here. This was honestly probably the best showing that Jay Lethal had the entire tournament so far. And Roosh only had 3 points coming into this match. But Roosh is able to put Lethal away via submission, get the victory here. Poor Jay Lethal. I'm saying, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like they could be doing this tournament so much better. We then had a Mox and Swerve video promo kind of hyping up the main event for the evening. You go back to last week's Collision, and there were comments from both men. They kind of edited those video packages together. Very well executed for AEW. We then had Jay White versus Mark Briscoe. Yeah, poor Lethal is eliminated, dude. Like, there's a few people that are already eliminated, cannot win, and they're not even giving him like any kind of courtesy point. Like, there's no reason Lethal and Roosh couldn't have gone to a time limit draw. At least give Lethal a point. That way he's not straight up 0 on the board. Jay White versus Mark Briscoe was another intense tournament match. Honestly, just as good as Brody King and Andrade El Idolo. Unfortunately, another loss for Mark Briscoe here. And here's another one of the matches where I have an issue with. Mark Briscoe has not won a single match in this tournament. And he's supposed to be in a major match on Friday at Final Battle. Mark Briscoe and FTR versus the BCC contingent of Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Bryan Danielson, I believe. And rolling into that matchup, you can't give Mark Briscoe a victory to give him a little bit of momentum. And he's joining the top guys. So you're making that side look weak by the fact that there's no victory for them rolling into this match. No momentum whatsoever. Horribly booked. Again, even if he only picked up 1 point, he wasn't defeated going into that match. No, see, the problem with doing this tournament in the summer is they have the Owen in the summer. You don't want them to have 2 major tournaments in the summer, so having one in the winter is fine. That's perfectly fine. But you need to not have it be so predictable. That's the problem. There are people in this tournament that are just there to eat defeat, and that isn't right. People need to be in this tournament as a way to grow. I disagree with you on this one, Daniel. Main event match, Swerve Strickland versus Jon Moxley, and this was another brutal, intense match. Hard-hitting, back and forth action here. Swerve, again, took a loss here at the hands of Mox, who had to cheat to win nonetheless. And granted, BCC are technically heels, but technically so is Swerve. And for Mox to basically no-sell Swerve the entire match and then cheat to win, bad booking in my opinion. Mox doesn't need this tournament. Swerve does. This could be the career-making tournament for Swerve Strickland. He has had a banner 2023 year, and him capping off the year by winning this tournament at World's End is like everything that we need right here. But you've got him jobbing now to Moxley, who's a multi-time world champion and does not need this tournament. Post-match, we go out to the parking lot, and the Devil's henchmen are attacking Hangman Adam Page. The Devil himself even gets out of the car and kind of looks on, watching on in approval. as the show goes off the air. This was a really fast-paced, fast-moving Dynamite. Like, that's everything in a nutshell. And we're not even at the 20-minute mark of the show today. Like, usually our shows go over a half hour, sometimes to 40, 45 minutes. We're not even at the 20-minute mark, and we have covered everything that happened on Dynamite. So I'm curious to know what you guys thought of Dynamite. I definitely, I'm going to say it over and over again until they start to slide back the other way. Ever since the Tuesday Night War, AEW has been getting a lot better with their structuring of their shows, with their production value, with their video packages, making the feuds and the battles seem like they're more important, producing and presenting things in a WWE way. It's noticeable and it's working for them. They need to continue this trend. We're going to take a quick commercial. We're going to show you guys all the watch-alongs that are going to be coming up, beginning with tomorrow's final battle and going all the way through the Bash at Berlin in August of next year. And if we don't get any super chats, any other comments or anything, then we'll just go ahead and wrap things up and sign off. We'll be back in 40 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
We are back. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiversa Media for our watch-along coverage of Ring of Honor Final Battle. Noah Foster will be doing a prediction show for this tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. And then Final Battle coverage. I know Noah will be on the call. I'm not sure who will be joining him on the call. We will have to wait and see what happens with that. Make sure you guys tune in on Saturday to open mic night, the regular Saturday night shenanigans. We've got a lot of good stuff we're going to be discussing today on Saturday. And then, of course, 1 week from Saturday will be the eve of Christmas Eve Karaoke Spectacular. The wheel is back. The karaoke event that started it all for the Multiversa Media. We'll be back with another one of those a week from Saturday. Of course, make sure you guys tune in on Monday for my recap of all of the weekend's wrestling shows. Rampage, SmackDown, and Collision. Same bat time, same bat channel. And until then, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, thanking you all for tuning in to For the Love of Wrestling. And I will see you guys right here on Monday.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Thank you, JJ. Appreciate you.